This channel is always about you. You. We love what we do on this channel. We love to give you what you come here for, music reactions. Thank you to all the viewers and or subscribers that love what we do. This is someone that I've never heard of before in my life, but that's the beauty of this channel. We like to go in almost as blindly as possible, so this way we can hear something, experience something for the first time while on the channel. Luckily for me, I don't know a lot of music. Before this channel started, I used to listen to pretty much the same songs over and over again on my playlist because I was happy. Particularly, it was the 80s because I loved the 80s. But I'm being introduced to so much new music, new to the channel that is, and it's really great and rewarding. Philly will tell you that the same. Philly is the second half of this channel. He's the one that asked me to start the channel. So many times you'll get both of us or you'll get one of us reacting, but we're still Tazzz and Philly. It's just like a TV show. You know, the cast of the TV show are not on every episode. Sometimes some cast members are not, and that's the same here. But it's all one love, and it's all for the greater good of keeping this channel going and giving you, our viewers, what you like, reactions. This is called The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald by Gordon Lightfoot. Very interesting title. I looked up Gordon Lightfoot because I wanted to know something. It said Gordon Merriweather Lightfoot Jr. Was a Canadian singer, songwriter, and guitarist who achieved international success in folk, rock, and country music. He is credited for helping to define the folk pop sound of the 1960s and 1970s. And it said he passed away not that long ago. It says just last year, 2023, at the age of 84 years old. So bless him in paradise. And, you know, it's good that he graced us with music. Music is something I feel is essential in the world. So I'm about to hear him for the first time, and this song is called The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. And then I took a glimpse at that, what it's about. So the Edmund Fitzgerald is a ship, or was a ship, that had sank, and I believe this is a dedication to the people that perished. So this is new for me. Like, honestly, in my own ignorance, I only thought the only major ship that crashed and people died was the Titanic, and then they made a movie about it, and I saw the movie, and I've never been on a ship, but just imagining what they were going through and seeing it and stuff, like what it must have felt like, was devastating. So I only imagine if you're there in the moment. So this is now the second time I'm going to hear about a popular ship where people unfortunately perish. So this should be interesting. All right, so let me get into it. I will commentate more afterwards. Oh, real quick, I'll have the link in the description so you can support Gordon. Hopefully the likes and subscriptions still go somewhere, maybe to his foundation or his family. I don't know. But nonetheless, I'll give you the opportunity to support them because we represent music appreciation. That being said, here we go, and I'll commentate more afterwards.
The legend lives on from the Chippewa on down of the big lake they call Gitchagumi. The lake, it is said, never gives up her dead when the skies of November turn gloomy. With a load of iron ore, 26,000 tons more than the Edmund Fitzgerald weighed empty. That good ship and true was a bone to be chewed when the gales of November came early. The ship was the pride of the American side, coming back from some mill in Wisconsin. As the big freighters go, it was bigger than most, with a crew and good captain well seasoned, concluding some terms with a couple of steel firms when they left fully loaded for Cleveland. Then later that night when the ship's bell rang, be the north wind they'd been feeling. The wind in the wires made a tattletale sound, and a wave broke over the railing. And every man knew, as the captain did too, 'twas the witch of November come stealing. The dawn came late and the breakfast had to wait, when the gales of November came slashing. When afternoon came, it was freezing rain, in the face of a hurricane west wind. When supper time came, the old cook came on deck, saying, "Fellas, it's too rough to feed you." At 7 p.m. a main hatchway caved in. He said, "Fellas, it's been good to know ya." The captain wired in, he had water coming in, and the good ship and crew was in peril. And later that night, when his lights went out of sight, came the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Does anyone know where the love of God goes, when the waves turn the minutes to hours? The searchers all say they'd have made Whitefish Bay if they'd put 15 more miles behind her. They might have split up, or they might have capsized. They may have broke deep and took water. And all that remains is the faces and the names of the wives and the sons and the daughters. Lake Huron rolls, Superior sings in the rooms of her ice water mansion. Old Michigan steams like a young man's dreams. The islands and bays are for sportsmen. And farther below, Lake Ontario takes in what Lake Erie can send her. The iron boats go, as the mariners all know, with the gales of November remembered. In a musty old hall in Detroit they prayed, in the Maritime Sailors' Cathedral. The church bell chimed till it rang 29 times for each man on the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Wow.
The legend lives on from the Chippewa on down of the big lake they call Gitchagumi. Superior, they said, never gives up her dead when the gales of November come early.
Wow, that was so saddening. And hearing it and reading it as you're seeing the ship, um, like it resonated with me extra. So I'm saying because I can't swim. Like this is true. Like I can't swim at all. Like I literally think there's an anchor, a little tiny anchor inside of me because I've tried to learn how to swim. And you know how back in the day they would say, "Oh, I learned how to swim because like your parent threw you in." My parent threw me in, and I sank, and they had to bring me back. So then I tried years later to try to learn, and I just couldn't. I just I have like no buoyancy. So that scares me much more. So like I don't like it when I'm on a ship. First time I was never on a ship, but I was on one of those fishing boats, big boats, going flounder fishing in Barnegat Lake, New Jersey. And that was the first time. I don't know why I did it. But as soon as we got far away enough where I couldn't see land, like everywhere you looked, there was water, I was freaking out. Because I knew if something happened to that boat, I'm done. There's no land to go to within my arm's reach. Well, I couldn't even swim, so I would have needed like a air raft or something. But um, so yeah, so because I can't swim, and knowing that these it said 29, so it doesn't say in the song there was no survivors. So 29, not one, not two, not three, not even 10, which is still horrific, but 29 people who were sailors, which means what? They can swim. So even the fact that they can swim, being able to swim doesn't mean that you can always survive the water. As the song was saying, like Lake Superior, like the gales of November, it was obviously so treacherous that even people who could swim couldn't survive. But even so, like if they're in the middle of nowhere, like I don't know if they were like near no land. So even if it sank, if you're nowhere where you can use your arms to paddle to land, you're still doomed. I don't know the situation if they had rafts or whatever, if they didn't work, or it's just the fact that, like I said, you can only swim but so long, and the waters must have been cold and treacherous. So that makes it even scarier because even if you can swim, there was still no help. So there would twice be no help if it was me because I can't even swim. I can't even. I've already tried. Um, so it made that more emphatic for me. So I was more cerebral into the song, and then listening and reading his statement. I'm glad he had the lyrics, but I can only imagine if it affected me, and I didn't have any relation to any of the sailors there or anything like that, but it affected me, and this is years later. I can only imagine how it affected the family members and stuff, as they did mention there, like the wives and the children and stuff. Like that's their actual loved one that didn't survive. So that's crazy. Um, and it cuts just as deep in affection because now that I know that it was a sailor ship, everybody on there was working and stuff. The Titanic was workers and people on vacation or what have you. It doesn't matter. It's still human beings that have drowned and didn't survive a ship crisis. Um, that's saddening in itself. I'm thankful for Gordon, rest in paradise, who wrote this song because I feel that it was a healing process for people to experience. I mean, for people to feel. Plus, it's kind of like an homage to the fallen, to the sailors and stuff. A reminder and that you're not forgotten. So that's a really good respect. Um, yeah, hopefully, fast forward all these years later, the families are okay as far as because I don't know if anybody's traumatized. Just there could be people that lost their loved ones on there and never go to the ocean again or a lake again or never go on a boat again. It's possible. Um, it's so tragic though, but um, at least their memory lives on, and and I know that's the cycle of life. But it's one thing if it's your time to go, like your old age or whatever, and it's time for you've been called, versus if you're unknowingly or unwillingly ready to go. By nature, that happens. So let us know your thoughts. I want to know your thoughts in the comments. If this is your first time hearing this song, um, can you relate in it in some way? Whether it's one of your loved ones that was on that boat, or maybe you're a sailor, or someone you love is a sailor in the Navy or whatever, and maybe that's is an extra thing you might worry about. Anything you want to share in the comments about this, please share. It's an open forum in the comments. Um, we also have a Discord channel. The link's in the description, and I'm bringing this up because it's a free Discord channel. I've created dedicated channels for mental health for you to get things off your chest. If anybody wants to get anything off their chest relating to this or not, and you just want to put it out there in the atmosphere, we have an area on our Discord channel where you can vent and hopefully talk to other like-minded people. Because on Tazzz and Philly, we want you to not feel alone. Sometimes you have to get stuff off your chest or out of your brain into the atmosphere. And some people have said just by typing it out, they feel so much more relief. So I'm welcoming you to do that either here in the comments or on our Discord channel area under mental health areas. So yeah, tragic, tragic, tragic. But I'm glad I got to hear it and experience it, and still give an homage to the loved ones of the deceased on the Lake Superior, I believe it was, and to anybody else that passes away unknowingly, unnecessarily, um, due to the catastrophes of nature or anything that was not of their own doing. Um, so yeah. Well, this comes to the part of the show we always do our thumbs up pass if we like a song, thumbs down ass if we don't like a song. Come on now. Do you think I could really not like this song? I mean, I don't like what happened, but I like the message and the dedication. So boom. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Great, great, great. Let us know your thoughts. This is Tazzz with Tazzz and Philly, and I want y'all to take it easy and keep it breezy.